I'm excited to be with you again on another episode of the Peak Signing Agents podcast, where I, your host, DVO Derek Van Otten, is helping you become the best notary and signing agent you can be. If you don't know who I am from the beautiful state of Utah, where I am a notary signing agent and I own a worldwide signing service. I say worldwide because with Ron, Remote Online Notarizations, I can meet with anyone, anywhere in the world. How cool is that? I think that's really cool. Anyway, the Olympics just ended. Were you watching? Are you excited about the Olympics? Actually, comment real quick if you're watching on YouTube and let me know if you are a fanatic of the Olympics like I am. But my wife and I, we love sports. So we love the Olympics and we were just watching them. And it's the season right now. The Olympics, the Summer Olympics ended, and for me, I'm like, okay, that means fall sports are starting: basketball, football, volleyball, hockey. We have season tickets to a lot of sporting events, and anyway, I get excited about it. I love sports. And I was just listening to a podcast, the PBD podcast, Patrick Bet David, PBD podcast, and he had Oscar De La Hoya on recently. Oscar De La Hoya, if you don't know, is a retired professional boxer, Hall of Famer. He won the gold medal at I believe the gold medal in the 1992 Barcelona Olympics for USA. And it was just kind of fun listening to that podcast. In fact, I'm still listening to it. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it. And it just made me think about an episode. So that's why I'm recording. And I thought I'd share with you because myself, where I help business owners, whether they're notaries or another business, and I help coach them. I've been a business owner for nearly 2 decades now. And I actually give a lot of analogies with sports. And I think of business and sports, they correlate, they run parallel, in my opinion, in a lot of ways. And so because I'm a sports fan and because I'm a fan of business, I use a lot of analogies to compare them as I talk and coach with notaries and other people. And I thought I'd talk about that a little bit more. Let's talk a little bit more in depth about that. What do I mean when I say that? Think about sports, okay? Your professional athletes, the ones you admire or the ones you go to watch, a lot of times they didn't just wake up and become professionals, right? They have been training. They've been involved in their sport since they were pre-teens and teens. They got started at a young age. And they dedicated themselves. They practice. How often would you say they practice? Oh, I don't know, maybe every single day? All right, you know what? I'm going to close my doors here because I pulled over. I have 4 closings today. I just finished my first one. I have 3 more to go and I have some time, so I thought I'd record. So I'm in a parking lot, parked in some shade, and I feel like there's a lot of people driving by, so I'm going to close the door so it doesn't get too noisy. If it doesn't get too noisy, I'm sorry, but I am recording in the back of the mobile office, and I am out doing closings on a beautiful Saturday. Anyway, going back to sports and business. Amateurs. Amateurs pay to play. Like I said, most of these athletes started off as young preteens, teenagers. And they paid to play. They paid to be in the organization. They paid for their jerseys. They paid for coaches. They paid for these things. And then when they become professionals, then they get paid. How cool is that? When they start off as amateurs, they're paying. They're putting a lot of money into their sporting event. And as they become better and they start getting sponsorships. So now their sponsors are paying for their training. And then as they become the peak performance of their profession, of their sport, now people are paying to go watch them. See that transition? So why am I talking about this? Are you getting paid to be a professional? Are you getting paid the big bucks? Because the professionals get paid the big bucks. They're not just getting paid. Right, there's levels to this. Let's look at college sports. They recently introduced NIL, name, image, likeness. So now college athletes can get paid for like being in a commercial. Now they might start off in maybe a local commercial and they might get a couple $1,000s for that. That's fantastic. That's great. But then, and people are paying to, come to the sporting events. But then they'll get recruited to the professional league. And now the fans and the stadiums get filled with them. Let's look at our profession, notary service. We have to pay to get started, right? We have to pay to get our commission, get our stamp, our notary bag, our supplies, pens, paper, printer, scanner. Maybe you don't have a setup at your home, so maybe you need to buy a desk and chair. Internet. Right? These are just things that we pay to get started. And then we might get a couple jobs as amateurs. However, we get paid from day one. We're getting paid from day one as amateurs, but we're getting amateur pay. We're getting amateur pay. It's through experience and through training do we get paid like the professionals, the big bucks. My question to you, are you training every day like these athletes? I mean, if you're listening or watching this podcast, maybe you are. But are you doing it every day? Because I just do this once a week. Are you listening to other sources? I just told you I started this episode off by saying I was just listening to a podcast. I'm constantly listening to podcasts and books. I don't listen to music. And it's a Saturday because I'm working. But if my daughter was with me or my family was with me, then yeah, I'll be probably playing some music for them. But when I'm by myself, I don't listen to music. It's always training. I'm always training. I'm a professional. I'm always training. I want the big bucks. I want to get paid like the professionals get paid. Does that make sense? So yeah, you're starting off as an amateur. Don't expect the big bucks at first. Some people think, oh, I got my notary commission. I should be getting paid the whole fee. I should get all the business. I should get all the money. At some point, maybe you will deserve it. At this point, as an amateur, you do not. You do not deserve it. And are you always acting as a professional? Are you always a professional when you're on the field? And on the field meaning you're doing closings, you're doing signings, you're stamping. Are you always professional? Because there's levels to it as well in our business. Are you staying in contact with a signing service? Are you calling signers right away to confirm the appointment and letting them know we're confirmed, or I've left them a voicemail? Are you staying in contact? Are you a professional? Are you playing like a professional? Are you acting like a professional? If you do not have any business coming your way, it's because you're an amateur and you're not doing the things to reach that professional status. Sorry if that hurts your feelings, but that's the truth. Just because you're a notary, just because you sign up on some platforms does not mean you're going to get all the work. You need to still put in work. Work doesn't end. The professional athletes don't end when the game is over. They get ready for the next game. They're always getting ready for the next game. They're always training. It's an everyday thing. So if you signed up and then you sit down and watch TV, don't expect big things to happen for you. I'm just saying. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, though, but that's the truth. I'm helping you. I'm doing this podcast to help you. I want you to be professional. I want you to get the professional money. Okay, that's why I'm doing this. I want to talk... Okay, I'm sorry. I talked about closing the door because it's getting noisy, but I got to open it because it's getting hot. I apologize, but I don't edit my videos. I just keep it raw. All right? There's no mistakes. We just go with it. All right. I want to talk about LeBron James. I'm not a big fan of his, but I'm a fan of his work ethic. He's in the conversation for the greatest basketball player of all time. We can all agree with that. He's in the conversation. Whether he's in the top 3, top 5, top 10 for you, whatever, he's in the conversation as one of the greatest. When he started playing basketball, he paid. He bought a basketball. He probably had to pay to join a rec league or an organization as a child. Even when you go to high school, to play in high school, you have to pay. I tried out for my high school basketball team. You have to pay. You have to buy your jersey. You have to travel. You got to pay for that. It's not free. All right, you have to pay for all that, or your parents pay for that, I should say. And if you're elite enough to go to college, unless you get a full ride scholarship, you're still paying. You're paying to go to college. You're paying for everything. You go to the combine. You're paying. You're paying for coaches. You're paying for training. You're paying for all sorts of things. And then you start getting sponsors. And then people are paying to watch you. LeBron James is getting paid millions of dollars each game that he plays. He's the highest paid NBA player. He has paid millions of dollars each game. But he started off as an amateur and he was paying to play. But you know what he still does? He trains every single day. He's with his teammates every single day practicing. Every day. And he reinvests in his business. How does he do that? He invests $1 million in his health. A year. $1 million a year in his health. He's paying for dietitians, chefs, training coaches, strength and conditioning coaches, shooting coaches. He's paying for he's reinvesting his money into himself. $1 million a year he invests in his health so he can keep playing. I admire that. He's still at the professional level, at the highest of the professional level. And then conferences roll around for notaries. The Loan Signing System Conference has one coming up. The National Notary Association has one coming up. And I see people complaining, I don't have the money to go. I'm not bashing your situation. I don't know your situation. And some people have a really tight and a really bad situation, and I feel terrible. I empathize with you. And some people make excuses. The reason you don't have the money to go to a conference that's why you're broke. It's the reasoning. It's the excuses. I don't have the money. Find a way to make money. Go be a professional. Start working. Let's talk about kids for a minute, because kids are relentless. And we're talking about kids starting off as teens and preteens. I loved playing sports as a kid. My daughter was really into, my oldest daughter, she was really into ice skating. We paid for her to do ice skating. We had to pay for her to be in the organization. We had to pay for her to be at the rec center. We had to pay for her to get her skates, to get her costumes, to enter into every competition she did. And we paid for private coaching. We paid every step of the way for her to do ice skating. And if she wanted to continue it, she could have maybe went to the Olympics. Who knows? She decided not to continue it, but who knows if she decided to. And then she would have got sponsors and paid. I'm a big fan of entrepreneurship, so I support kids when I see them selling something. When I see a kid selling something on the side of the road, I pull over. Every single time, I pull over and I buy whatever they're selling. I just do it. And I always ask them, why? Why are you doing this? And I get lots of different reasons, but I'll tell you the number one reason. I'll tell you the number one reason why kids are selling items, whether they're selling lemonade, or they're selling stickers, or they're selling cookies, or they're selling, I've bought sunglasses. They're just selling things. What's the number one reason? I get lots of reasons why. The number one reason why they're selling items is because they're raising money for a sporting event. Baseball, cheerleading, football. That's the number one reason. Do they have money for this? No, they don't. They're a little kid. Do their parents have money? Maybe they don't. Does that stop the kids? It doesn't stop them. They are doing whatever they can. They're selling lemonade. They're selling cookies. They're selling whatever. What's your excuse? If you have an excuse, I should say. If you don't have an excuse, good for you. But the reason you don't have money is a mindset thing. Lack of money is a mindset thing. You need to change your mentality about it. You need to think there's an abundance of money and you're going to get that. You're going to get some percentage of that abundance of money. That's what you need to tell yourself. Like I've talked about this before. Brainwash yourself. Talk about brainwashing yourself. Talking about your. This is what I'll tell you this. I have an affirmation that I tell myself every day. And in my affirmation, I say, I'm successful, I'm wealthy. I'm not, but I say that to myself. I brainwash myself to believing that I'm successful and wealthy. That's just some of the things I say. I say a lot of things in my daily affirmation, but that's just a couple things that I say. I trick myself into thinking I'm this a certain way. I also say I'm 100% healthy. We all know I'm currently not 100% healthy, but I will be. I'm telling myself I will be. I also say I help others. I like to say I change the world. I make the world a better place. So, if kids are willing to outwork you to get what they want, what is your excuse? What is holding you back? Does that make sense? So, if a kid is willing to go stand out in the heat to go sell lemonade so they can buy their cheerleading outfit, so they can buy their baseball uniform, what's holding you back from doing something similar to making money? Are you out there putting yourself out there? Are you visiting tons of open houses? Are you visiting tons of offices? Are you going to tons of networking events to get your name out there? Don't let these kids outwork you. These kids are willing to outwork you. Okay? Don't let them outwork you. You're the adult. You should be outworking the kids. No excuses. No excuses. I want you to get professionally paid. I want you making money. I want you successful because I don't want you saying no to your kids. I don't want your kids to have to be out there selling lemonade. I'm not against that. I am a big advocate for hard work. So if a kid wants to go out there and sell because they want something else other than their uniform, they want something that they're striving for. Hey, I'm not going to knock it, but I'm not telling my kids no. Like I said, when my daughter wanted to do ice skating, okay. How much are these skates? Wait, they're how much? Oh, okay. All right. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. I don't want to say no to them. I was told no a lot when growing up. We weren't poor or anything, but I was just told no a lot. I didn't get new shoes until there were holes in my shoes and it was raining and my socks were soaking wet. Then my mom said, okay, now we'll get new shoes. I didn't get haircuts until my hair was constantly in my eyes. And then my mom was like, okay, now we'll go get haircuts. I was told no a lot. Hey, we went to a carnival, we went to a festival. Hey, I want this, I want this. No. I get it. You know, that was just how it was. I don't want to say no to my kids. No, I don't give them everything they want. But I'm not always going to be I'm not saying no. I brought them into this world so they can enjoy this world. I'm not going to say no to everything. I'm not going to say yes to everything either. But I'm not going to say no to everything. That's my mindset. Right? I grew up lower middle class. I was told no a lot. And I was like, I'm not going to tell my kids no. It's a mindset thing. I would go to conferences. I go to all sorts of different, not just notary conferences. I go to lots of business seminars and conferences. And when I first started, I didn't have money for it. But me not having money was not the reason for me not to go. I didn't say, oh, I don't have the money, I can't go to this conference. I thought, I need to go to this conference so I can learn how to make money. I need to learn how to be professional. I need to go to this conference. I can't afford to miss this conference. I can't afford to miss buying a scanner. I'm missing out on jobs because I don't have a good scanner. And they want scan backs. I can't afford to say no to it. I need to buy it. I can't afford to let my commission expire. I need to renew it before it expires. A notary that I use a lot, we just reached out to him for a job. And he's like, I don't have my stamp yet. I renewed my commission. I'm just waiting for my stamp. He probably waited till the last minute. He can't afford that. You can't afford to wait till the last minute. A professional knows when your commission expires, and you plan ahead of time. My commission expires. I've got 6 months. I'm already working on getting it renewed. I can't afford to have it expire. Actually, I could. I don't. I run a signing service. I don't even need to do closings, but I enjoy doing it. I like doing it. I like being paid as a professional. So I keep doing it. I'm going to renew my commission months before it expires. I do my background check months before it expires. I'm listening to podcasts and audiobooks every single day. You do not hear me listening to music. Unless one of my daughters are in the car with me, I'm not listening to music. Even when my wife's with me, we listen to podcasts and audiobooks together. I'm training always to be a professional. Are you being paid as an amateur or are you being paid as a professional? You control it. Just know you control it. Remember, amateurs pay, professionals get paid. I want you getting paid. Now, I have to go because I'm going to go get paid and do 3 more closings today on a Saturday. Some might think, oh, I don't work on Saturdays. That's your right. That's your choice. I don't mind. I'm a professional. Professional athletes play on Christmas and Thanksgiving, on holidays, on birthdays. They play. I'm going to go hit the field and go play. I just got a new stock of pens in. Just ordered some new pens with my logo on it. I'm putting it up to the camera. Just got me a new notary bag because my notary bag is getting trashed. The handles, I had to take them off because the handles were worn off. The zippers, they're all worn off. I'm getting holes in the bag, and now we might get into some wet weather season coming up. I don't want my documents getting wet, so I just got me a new bag because I'm a professional. And you are as well. I'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye.